At the beginning of the day, the pound sterling inched down, reflecting investors' disappointment with the decline in the UK public net borrowing. Economists had expected a decline of £28.5 billion. However, the indicator dropped just by £24.3 billion. Under the current conditions, it's really a negative factor. The fact is that when an economy starts recovering, excessive debt burden may limit the government's ability to stimulate economic growth. That's why investors have negatively reacted to this data. At the same time, the euro remains stable. However, in Italy, the third largest eurozone economy, industrial production figures turned out to be well above the forecast. On a monthly basis, the indicator increased by 3.3%, whereas economists had foreseen a rise of 0.8%. This should have been enough to boost the euro. However, the currency remained unchanged. It means that investors expect further growth in the US dollar. Nevertheless, both the euro and the pound sterling may advance amid the US statistics. Thus, the US existing home sales may drop by 1%. Although the report is of minor importance, it still displays the current consumer activity, which determines the pace of economic growth. Thus, an insignificant decrease in consumer activity is a negative factor that may push the US dollar lower. Let us take a look at the trading charts. Yesterday, the euro-dollar pair entered the correctional phase. In other words, the price began recovering after a decline locked on June 18. Such a situation was quite predictable since the euro was significantly oversold. Analyzing the current chart, we see that the reading of 1.1925 acts as resistance. A decline in the volume of long positions coincides with the period of June 18. However, some traders are still focused on the correctional movement. In this case, important levels are located at 1.1930 and 1.1880. If the pair consolidates above 1.1930, it may rise to 1.1950 and 1.2000. But if it fixes below 1.1880, it may slide to the support level of 1.1850. The pound-dollar pair showed almost the same dynamic. Yesterday, the technical correction began, thus pushing the pair to the resistance level of 1.3950. On the trading chart, we can see that the resistance level of 1.3950 is exerting pressure on buyers and may lead to a decline. The pair is likely to continue the upward correction only within the psychological area. The resistance level of 1.3950 is quite strong. That's why the pair may advance only by 1.3885. That's all for now. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you in several hours. We will take a close look at the US trading session.